Hey guys, it's Steph from Hot and Moving, and it was just a matter of time for anonymous Clipper, employees or ex-employees really started sharing how they feel about Kawhi Leonard. All right, now there was a snippet there's been someone quoted from the Clippers organization. I don't know if this person is still there or not, but it's a source coming to this article, so we're gonna go with it for now. Okay, it said this has been a nightmare. A Clipper source said about the Kawhi Leonard era. He's an incredibly talented player when he's healthy, but as everyone knows, he's rarely healthy, and his camp is just so difficult to deal with. His time here, thankfully, is coming to an end soon. Wow. Not surprised, man. Not surprised. Okay. I've always said this about Kawhi Leonard. I mean, when he's healthy and playing games, he's a top 5 player in the league easily. Hands down, right? But we're not talking about his talent. We're talking about, his lack of services on the court. And, it seems like the people in the building, they're quiet. They don't want to annoy the Royal Steve Ballmer, and leaking out how they really feel. And they seem like this whole, alleged cap circumvention situation has really given open season about how people feel about Kawhi Leonard. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Kawhi Leonard has, people really couldn't come at Kawhi because, number one, he's quiet. When he's on the court, he's a damn good player. Okay. The only criticism that he has received is the fact that he is load managing. And he'll miss games. He'll be in the lineup, not in the lineup. You just don't really know what version of Kawhi Leonard you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? And his availability is absent. But it seemed like Uncle Dennis and Kawhi Leonard are just assholes, honestly. I mean, it's like, the whole Toronto situation, corporate companies there, they didn't want to work with corporate companies. They wanted ownership stake. They wanted all kinds of perks. They wanted all kinds of perks from the LA Lakers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's odd timing when the company aspiration that's one of his endorsements, and when there's missed payments or payments are not on time, he apparently isn't playing any games, and for Clipper workers, I mean, it's like, who knows in terms of what type of events and things they want him to do. Him and his camp want him to get involved with the Clippers in the area and stuff like that. On the day-to-day business dealing with Kawhi Leonard, their superstar player. And you know what? Uncle Dennis and him are just blocking shit off left and right. I mean, the way I view Kawhi Leonard when his career is over and done with, it's starting to trend like his basketball career is going to be a footnote compared to just the load management stuff. How he exited San Antonio, magically healthy for Toronto, bounces after winning the championship. Okay, didn't even consider staying there, and running it back. Okay, giving Toronto a chance. Okay, it was all about, he's from LA, he wants to go home. You go to the Clippers, and what does he have to show for it? Not a conference finals appearance, because he didn't participate in that. That was all led by, Paul George and was it Pat Bev at the time or whatever? I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I forgot who was on that team. I don't know if Pat Bev was on that team, honestly, at the time. Maybe he was, I'm not sure. Either way, and then, last season he plays more games. Okay, but, we didn't really know how many more games he was going to play, considering that, he tries to play for the Olympic team. And then Lawrence Frank was like, we were disappointed that Kawhi wasn't on the Team USA and he was good to go. Man, whatever, dog. But I mean, like with the story of Kawhi Leonard and with these latest allegations, I mean, look, he didn't do anything criminal. Okay, he didn't. But in the court of public opinion, it's just kind of like his image is tarnished because of this, right? I mean, you take this endorsement deal and, only you have this type of deal where you don't have to do a damn thing and get paid. And then your uncle's running around, making sure that every check, that every business you're involved in, you're getting that check on time. And, if you don't get that check, it makes it look like, nah, don't play then. Nah, we don't until that check clear, until that statement, until that invoice goes through, it's paid off. Nah, I don't play, right? I mean, it just seemed like, he's monetized his career in the most negative way compared to other athletes who have a lot of endorsements, but they show face, they promote the brands that they're representing, and he doesn't do any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't want to hear just hoop. Nah, you want to hoop and you want to extract the most from the league without doing much. And not only, I'm sure the people in the front office and the people that's working in the organization are fed up. To say that there's people there. I know it's just a source, but you know what? I mean, sometimes these sources don't come fabricated out of nowhere. Okay. But I'll take this source for face value in the quote, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that people want him gone. They're done. They're hoping this investigation will net something and get rid of them. But I mean, is Steve Ballmer the richest owner in the league? Okay. I mean, does Adam Silver have enough nuts, to put the hammer down on the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard? I mean, it just seemed like everything that Adam Silver has been saying, and then he backtracks. I mean, he was on Front Office Sports talking about, oh well, I didn't. He was pressed about, I mean, what do you mean you didn't know about aspiration? Well, what I meant was, I didn't really know about this particular situation with aspiration. I was just like, wow, this guy Adam Silver backtracking. I mean, he comes into the league, he gets rid of Donald Sterling. You think he has a spine. And he doesn't, don't get me started on what he said. I already talked about it. Talking about some, when he was asked about how can people afford your product when there's on different streaming platforms and all this BS. You can have highlights. And then he was pressed on that. He was like, well, what I mean is, our sport's such a highlight, even the days of ESPN such a highlight, game. And there's always highlights nonstop. I mean, it's just, I got a feeling this whole Kawhi Leonard and Steve Ballmer situation is going to get swept under the rug. I mean, it's not going to get swept under the rug for us, you know what I'm saying? But in terms of them and the owners and all, and their little posse and clique, they want to sweep this under the rug. But, I mean, which owners are going to be furious, right? I mean, we haven't heard a peep of anonymous owners, anonymous execs. I haven't found any that are extremely annoyed with the Clippers and Steve Ballmer, right? No other owner has leaked anything in terms of their sentiment on how they feel about all this. And will we get that? I don't know. But, I hope Pablo Torre keeps putting the pressure on the neck. I mean, in the court of public opinion, I know and you can't, give rulings based off of that. But for me, I was always out on Kawhi just in terms of him overall as a player outside of his talents, right? I mean, there's one thing to have talent and be available, and then there's another thing to do all this weird load management stuff, and it blurs the line between, are you healthy, are you not, what's going on, are you being petty? And it feels like he's being petty. Is he one of the most pettiest players in the league, even though he doesn't say anything? Hard to read, doesn't show much emotion. Ironically, looking at this picture. But I mean, that's what it seems like, man. And it seems like the Clippers organization is like, people in there is like good riddance. They're hoping that the NBA comes down on them and gets rid of Kawhi, avoid his contract, and bounce. Will the league do that? It would be definitely set precedent. It'd be nice if they did something like that. It shows that, they care about the integrity of the game. They care about the business and the health of their game, right? And not wanting sponsors and all this weird, shady business and being investigated with the FBI and DOJ and all this nonsense, right? I mean, the league is at an inflection point right now with Kawhi Leonard. What are they going to do? I don't think they're going to do much. I'm not confident in Adam Silver, especially his latest statements. But we shall see, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.